Okay, there we go. It's blinking. I wanted to finish the third installment, final installment on the For Baha'i Eyes Only encounter with the unknown. And so what I'm doing is going through these references from the writings of the Baha'is here, as I've said in this earlier in this series, because they may not know that their own writings may apply to the phenomena being investigated and researched by ufology, namely ET, UAPs, UFOs, USOs, all of the cryptozoology, some animals, some not animals, some beings, the forest people in particular, and megalithic architecture and all that means. So here we are, we're up to page 9 on this at this point, and continuing on. This is For the Baha'is, a fireside for Baha'is. So here we go. Quote, Baha'u'llah has announced the necessity for a universal language which shall serve as a means of international communication and thus remove misunderstandings and difficulties. Now just let that soak in. Think about what we've been talking about here in the last 2 episodes. Quote, and among the teachings of Baha'u'llah is the origination of one language that may spread universally among the people. This teaching was revealed from the pen of Baha'u'llah in order that this universal language may eliminate misunderstandings from among mankind. Now, I've got a note in here. Let me see. It's been a while since I've read this. My note says this. The universal language is specifically discussed as an aid to world unity and peace, but being a universal language, it does not say ET won't also speak it, or that interstellar rules are not written in it. Also, there is no indication that once world unity has been achieved, the process should stop there. Now, another universal language, another oddity about that, if you pay attention to what people have said in ETs to Steve Istall on the factsbyhowtohunt.com YouTube channel, Sabe, the forest people, use what we're referring to as mind speak. You will hear a voice in your head sometimes that is in your language but not your own. And the funny part about that is it doesn't matter what your language is. If several people are in the room and they all speak a different language, the language they hear in their head is the one they speak. I find that intriguing in light of the universal language references that we've just mentioned. So a lot of Baha'is in the United States and elsewhere, we like to think that it's probably going to be English, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, moving on. Blessed is the one who discovereth the fragrance of inner meanings from the traces of this pen, through whose movement the breezes of God are wafted over the entire creation. Quote, say, this is the infallible balance which the hand of God is holding, in which all who are in the heavens and all who are on earth are weighed and their fate determined, if you be of them that believe and recognize the truth. Say, this is the very soul of all scriptures, which have been breathed into the pen of the Most High, causing all created beings to be dumbfounded, save only those who have been enraptured by the gentle breezes of my loving kindness and the sweet savors of my bounties, which have pervaded the whole of creation. And then, quote, again, there are those famed and accomplished. In the mirror of their minds, the forms of transcendent realities are reflected, and the lamp of their inner vision derives its light from the sun of universal knowledge. The proffered treasures of kings would not compare with a single drop of the waters of knowledge. To them, the delights that lie outside their work are only toys for children. The cumbersome load of unnecessary possessions is only good for the ignorant and base. Think about that the next time we all go to the mall. Content, like birds, they give thanks for a handful of seeds, and the song of their wisdom dazzles the minds of the world's most wise. Now, again, I've been interacting with what I believe are the forest people, and they are not materialists by any stretch of the imagination. And it almost seems like this last verse is talking about them. And then also, again, I just want to mention, this is for the Baha'is, but there might be somebody looking over my shoulder who is not religious at all, okay, doesn't believe in God or isn't sure or doesn't care. And so, although I'm reading these references and they are from a monotheistic world religion, they're going to mention God and the scriptures and all of that sort of stuff. But as I've also said, this particular little known mystical Eastern faith is not at all interested in preaching or proselytizing to anyone. In fact, that is forbidden to its followers. So you don't need to worry. Just because you hear me reading these, I'm going to read them as they were written, and they claim to be a revelation direct from God. But if you're not into that, ignore that and extract from it whatever information you might find interesting. And for the Baha'is, however, what we're saying is probably thoughts that they're encountering the unknown in this regard. They probably never thought about these writings as applying to anything other than human beings. And so there's enough unknown here to go around for everyone. Okay, going on. Quote, "He has given us outer sight to view the lights of the sun, and inner vision by which we may perceive the glory of God. He has designed the outer ear to enjoy the melodies of sound, and the inner hearing wherewith we may hear the voice of our Creator. Therefore, we must endeavor with heart and soul in order that the veil covering the eye of inner vision may be removed, that we may discern His mysterious graces and realize that material blessings as compared with spiritual bounties are as nothing." Now, I found these verses and I thought they were relevant because Steve Istall has questioned whether or not the forest people may have powers and abilities that we have lost or have let go dormant. And inner vision is one of those things that most people don't make as much use of as they possibly could. It may be somehow connected with the sixth sense that you will hear Steve talk about on his videos. Okay. And that is all of the quotations that I had. So I think two more things. One is a note for the Baha'is. This is what I had written when I made this list. If any Baha'is disagree with anything I have suggested here, please contact me with quotations from the writings that support your view. My opinion means nothing, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I could be. I don't think so, but I could be. But no mere opinion or unsupported argument matters, so references from the writings are key. I don't need people saying, well, in my opinion, that's not what it means. It means a lot more things than what I'm saying it means. The writings say that, I think it might be in the Quran, that all the holy verses have 70 and 7 meanings or 70 and 2 meanings. And so I need, if I'm wrong, let me know if there's other things in the writings that contradict the way I'm using them. That's what I mean. And so let's see, here I will show you, you can get a screenshot of the references here. And here, I showed that before, and then here's page 2. That should give you ample time to figure out what's on there. And so that's what we have gone through. And if you know any Baha'is or encounter any Baha'is, please share this with them and invite them to come take a look. And then last of all, my heart goes out to the family of Scott Carpenter, who is a Sasquatch researcher who we lost August the 4th, and he will be greatly missed. So he will be in my prayers. And we'll miss having him, because I really enjoyed hearing what he had to say on his channel. And that's also, I mean, like, I'm 72 now, so I wanted to get this done. I'll make sure I at least get this finished and get this out there. So, love to all, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you find it useful. And I create all my own content, so maybe a day or two before I think of something else that is worth saying. And if I do, I'll be back. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you all later.